6 people were shot and injured in a mass shooting at a school in Oakland in California.
He heard gunshots, located the gunshot, located the shooter, neutralized the shooter.
Out of nowhere, heard about like 10 pops go off.
In the U.S. state of Texas, 9 people, including the gunman, have been killed in a shooting at a shopping center. Several people have been hospitalized, some of them children.
The Nashville shooting is again raising the issue of gun control and calls for an assault weapons ban in America.
I will never forget what happened at Columbine High School, April 20th, 1999.
A man with a long criminal record of having killed a dozen people can go in and buy a rifle. A person who's 4 years old can go buy a rifle now.
Every day in this country, 316 people are shot.
Chapter 1. Current data and situations based on gun violence. The issue of gun violence is a deeply divisive topic in America, a country where firearms are deeply ingrained in daily life. The Small Arms Survey, a Swiss-based research project, has recently released updated figures on civilian gun ownership in the U.S. In 2018, an estimated 400 million guns were owned by civilians in the country, and this number has grown by 8% in 2022. As a result, there are now more guns in the U.S. than there are people or cars. In comparison to other nations, Americans have the highest per capita gun ownership rate, accounting for approximately 40% of the world's total. This percentage is predicted to increase further in the future. According to the Gun Violence Archive, a nonprofit research database, the U.S. has experienced at least 160 mass shootings so far this year. These incidents include the attack that occurred at a 16th birthday party in Alabama, resulting in 4 fatalities, a school shooting in Nashville where 3 children and 3 adults lost their lives, and a mass shooting in Kentucky last Monday that claimed 4 lives. Recent years have seen a significant increase in the number of mass shootings as per the Gun Violence Archive's data. The last 3 years alone have witnessed over 600 mass shootings, averaging almost 2 incidents per day. The U.S. lacks a uniform definition of mass shootings, but according to the Gun Violence Archive, these events involve 4 or more people being killed or injured, regardless of whether the incident occurred at a public place or a private residence. Although the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history occurred in Las Vegas in 2017 and resulted in over 50 fatalities and 500 injuries, the majority of mass shootings leave fewer than 10 people dead. The worth of the U.S. firearm industry has experienced a significant increase since 2008, rising by 232% and reaching a value of $51.3 billion in 2022. However, the debate over gun ownership in the U.S. is not solely due to the country's high gun ownership rate. The U.S. also has the highest incidence of mass shootings, gun-related homicides, and firearm suicides among developed nations with comparable levels of development. Public health is responsible for addressing the factors that could decrease gun violence, but U.S. politics is not motivated to focus on these issues. Instead, their attention is directed elsewhere. It is therefore essential for public health initiatives to help the most vulnerable individuals advocate for themselves. Chapter 2. How did it came in America and build a huge market cap? How has the idea of gun ownership in America become so divisive, and how did it reach this point? Furthermore, among the numerous proposed solutions, which ones are most effective in reducing gun violence in the U.S. according to experts? In the 19th century, at least 9 countries had included the right to bear arms in their constitutions, including the United States, Honduras, Mexico, Guatemala, Colombia, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Liberia, and Bolivia. However, over time, most of these nations limited or completely revoked gun rights. In 2021, only 3 countries, including the United States, mentioned the right to bear arms in their constitutions. In the early days of gun culture, owning firearms in the U.S. was primarily for hunting and target shooting, and not for Second Amendment activism. Although most people owned guns, it was more a symbol of masculinity and a tradition than a legal right. The national discourse on gun control gained momentum only in 1934 after a mass shooting in Chicago. Prior to that, most laws regulating firearms were passed without much opposition. However, the Gun Control Act signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson in 1968 faced some opposition. The NRA played a pivotal role in shaping the conversation around the Second Amendment, and this became especially evident after the 1977 Cincinnati Revolt, when the organization experienced a coup. Second Amendment activists assumed control of the NRA, and in the 2000s, it became predominantly a lobbying group for the Republican Party. Chapter 3: Politics involved in the authority of gun licenses and political campaigns supporting gun regularities.
There can be no successful appeal from the ballot to the bullet, and those who take such appeal are sure to lose their case and pay the cost.
And we believe in freedom and liberty and the right to keep and bear arms.
The NRA spends between $2 and $5 million annually advocating for gun rights, and in the 2020 elections, spent $29 million on political campaigns. In 1983, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, began looking into gun violence as a public health issue by creating the Violence Epidemiology Branch. The National Rifle Association, or NRA, opposed the research, claiming that it would result in gun confiscation. The NRA threatened that it was either the research or the people's guns, and this strategy was successful in stopping the funding for gun violence research. In 1996, the Dickey Amendment was passed, which prohibited the CDC from using federal funds to advocate or promote gun control. As a result, the CDC was unable to conduct significant research on gun violence for over 20 years. However, after the mass shooting at Parkland, Florida in 2018, the Dickey Amendment was clarified, allowing the CDC to conduct research on the causes of gun violence. Approximately 40,000 people die from firearm injuries each year in the United States. The highest rate of gun ownership was in 1993, when approximately 51% of households owned guns. During that same year, gun homicides also peaked. Studies have shown that there is a correlation between the number of guns in a place and the number of gun deaths. However, focusing only on injuries and deaths misses the larger impact on families and communities. Even though most gun owners cite safety and protection as their reasons for owning a firearm, research has shown that having a gun in the home does not necessarily make it safer. In fact, it increases the risk of someone in the household being killed by a gun. In conclusion, gun violence is a complex issue that impacts not only individuals, but also families and entire communities. While owning a gun may provide a sense of safety and protection, it also increases the risk of harm and death. The need for research into gun violence has been recognized, and it is crucial to find ways to keep guns out of the hands of those who should not have them without infringing on the rights of responsible gun owners. It is up to all of us to have open and honest conversations about this issue and work together towards solutions that will make our communities safer for everyone. Together, we can strive towards a future where gun violence is no longer a devastating reality in the United States. We hope that it has provided you with a better understanding of the complexities of this issue and the impact it has on individuals and communities. It is our responsibility to use our voices and take action to create change. Whether it's advocating for stricter gun laws or supporting organizations working towards preventing gun violence, we can all play a role in making our communities safer. We encourage you to continue educating yourself on this issue and having conversations with those around you. Together, we can work towards a future where everyone feels safe and protected. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.